Hey guys, Rafi again with KSuspension, and what we're going to be doing today is installing an aftermarket transmission cooler for your Jeep Cherokee. Now, a lot of you guys with the tow packages, you already have an OEM cooler. It's about yay long, doesn't really work too well, transmission still gets hot. And those of you without tow packages don't have one at all. It only goes through the radiator. What we're going to be doing is installing one out of a Chevy Venture. This one here, it's about 20,000 GVW, so you know it's definitely going to help out with a lot of cooling capacity, especially on a vehicle this size. Now, you can go with a lot of aftermarket ones. There's a plethora of them out there. They range anywhere between $40 to $150. I like the cheaper versions. This one here is perfect for any situation, and this was about 10 bucks at my local junkyard. Can't really beat that. And with this one, we're actually going to be bypassing the radiator altogether and running the transmission straight off of this cooler itself. This way we don't have to worry about the transmission fluid temperature being mixed in with the coolant temperature. And I have seen cases to where the radiator itself, that little tube for the transmission line, does crack, and then it mixes with your coolant, and then everything just starts going bad. I've seen transmissions fail from that. You can keep it in line, and that's totally fine. We'll talk about how you can do that. But in this instance, we're going to go ahead and run the transmission right off of this cooler. So let's get going. So first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and remove our grill. So go ahead and remove anything you have up front. We're going to take off the grill so that we can figure out where to mount that transmission cooler. Now that the grill's off, we're going to go ahead and test fit our new cooler. So this guy's going to sit right here. Now, it doesn't matter which side you put it on. We're going to go with the left side of the Jeep here, just so we have our electric fan, because we're going to throw that on a switch as well, so we can turn it on and off whenever we'd like. If it's good, well, we're going to run some lines. So now that we're underneath the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and remove our transmission cooler lines. This one here, just going to loosen up, slide off. We'll go ahead and let it drain. And this one here, we're going to loosen back over here, let that drain out, and then we're actually going to cut this line back a bit so that we can run our new soft line up to the new cooler. Make sure you got a bucket to catch everything. Alright, so now that we got the hoses off, we got this line cut, we're going to go ahead and run our new lines up to the new cooler. Now, if you guys wanted to go ahead and keep the cooler through the radiator, all you would have to do at this point is you'd leave everything connected the way it was, but this line here, what you're going to do is cut into it, and then you would run one end to the cooler and the other end back to the original line. That way your return line goes through the cooler and back to the transmission. But in this instance, of course, we're going to run it straight to the cooler. You're going to need about 4 feet of 3/8 hose. So this stuff works perfect. Get yourself a few hose clamps and let's run it. So now that we got all of our tranny lines run, we can go ahead and mount this up using some zip ties. They have the special zip ties that you can mount coolers with. Any parts store should have them, just a couple bucks. Now one thing, depending on how you're orienting your cooler, if you're mounting it vertically like this, you can run the lines however you'd like. If you're mounting it vertically, what you're going to want to do is run your hot line through the top and your return cool line through the bottom. So again, horizontal, it doesn't really matter. Vertical, you want your hot line to be on the top. At this stage as well, we're going to go ahead and remove the electric fan. That way we can do some well-needed maintenance and clean out the condenser and radiator. So for this part, all you need is an air hose and a dirty radiator and condensing unit. Woo! Yeah! Alright, so now that we got everything all hooked up, cleaned out the radiator, condenser, and transmission cooler, we're going to go ahead and remove these old transmission lines. So now that we're ready to mount everything up and secure it for good, we're going to go ahead and grab our zip ties, line it up to where we want it, and we're going to go ahead and feed them through and tighten them down on the other side. Alright guys, well there you have it. Now you have installed your transmission cooler exactly how you wanted it. It's all secured down, not going anywhere, and that is a job well done. At this point, we're going to go ahead and reassemble everything else. So put your fan back in, go ahead and put your grill back on, start it up, make sure you don't have any leaks, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe down below. And as always, from all of us here at KSuspension to you, happy trails.